So, you're thinking about buying a home in Destin, Florida. Maybe something near the beach, something that you can rent out part-time, or even full-time residence. Whatever your reason, there's no doubt that this is one of the most desirable places to live on the entire Gulf Coast. But here's the deal. Some properties might look great on paper, in photos, or even during a showing, but they come with risks you really need to understand. I'm Danny Margliano with World Impact Real Estate and DestinPropertyExpert.com. I've helped hundreds of buyers relocate or invest here along the Emerald Coast since 2009. And today, I'm giving you a friendly but serious heads up. Never buy these types of homes in Destin, Florida that we're going to discuss in this video unless you're exactly sure what you're getting into. This video could save you from major financial stress, regret, or even worse. Let me break it down for you. Number 1, buying a home in high-risk flood zones without doing your due diligence. First, let's talk about flood zones. Every property in Florida is technically in a flood zone, but there's a big difference between a home in a flood zone X, which is considered minimal risk, and one that's in flood zone AE, VE, or even Cobra. Sometimes buyers get excited about a waterfront property with amazing views or what looks like a great deal, but don't realize they're in a high-risk flood zone area. That can mean sky-high insurance premiums, mandatory flood insurance, or even issues getting coverage in the first place. Cobra zones are especially limiting for your options for federal flood insurance. What that means is most likely your flood insurance is going to be quite high. That doesn't mean that you should automatically skip these types of homes, but you should absolutely do your homework. Ask about past flood claims, find about the exact flood zone that you're purchasing in, get insurance quotes before you're under contract, know the elevation of the structure. These are all things that I walk my buyers through every time. Number 2, older homes with deferred maintenance. Destin has beautiful homes that were built decades ago, and many of them are still great. But just because a home is older doesn't automatically make it a bad choice. You'll need to spend more time making sure that there aren't any red flags that will pop up. An aging roof, outdated electrical, or plumbing that's seen better days can quickly become expensive and be an unpleasant surprise. If the property was mostly used as rental and hasn't been kept up, that's where problems often start. You really want to make sure that you get a quality inspector in there that checks out everything. And the homes that are built between 2005, they may not meet Florida current hurricane codes. Again, this doesn't mean you don't buy a house built before then. Just do your due diligence. This brings us to number 3, non-conforming additions or unpermitted work. Sometimes you'll walk into a house and see a bonus room, a converted garage, or a finished porch that feels like a major added value. But if the work wasn't permitted or inspected, you could be stepping into a legal or financial mess. These kinds of additions can mess with appraisals, cause insurance headaches, and in some cases lead to code violations. I always recommend we pull the permit history if anything looks questionable. Also, the title company plays an important role here. I primarily work with Setco Services on 30A, and they do a fantastic job uncovering hidden issues with permits, zoning, or legal paperwork. They've saved more than one deal from going sideways. Number 4, homes with low short-term rental potential but high price tags. Destin's rental market is hot, but every property here is not a short-term rental goldmine. Some neighborhoods flat out ban short-term rentals, others might technically allow them, but because of location, layout, or lack of amenities, they just don't perform well. Kelly Plantation and Regatta Bay, gorgeous communities, but no short-term rentals are allowed. Same thing with Emerald Bay. On the other hand, Destiny by the Sea and Crystal Beach do allow short-term rentals and can be great investments if you choose the right property. If you're buying with income in mind, you can't guess. We'll look at rental properties and projections as well as rental income data when possible. And here's the thing. Some people use their home a few times a year and let friends and family also stay there. That's why we usually lean on solid projections, but when we can get the actual rental history and use a combination, that's even better.
Thinking about relocating to the Destin, Florida area? Well, I've got just the thing for you. My team and I have taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, which is designed to save you hours of research. I've linked it below, from top employers to the best hospitals, and a wealth of other things you need to know before making the move. The best part is that this guide is 100% free. That's right, you heard me right, 100% free. Click the link in the description or the top pinned comment. Hope that helps.
Number 5 is homes with outdated hurricane protection. If you're coming from out of state, this might not be on your radar, but it should be. Homes built before Florida's 2005 Hurricane Code update often lack impact-rated windows, reinforced roofs, or proper wind strapping. That can mean two things: higher insurance premiums and higher risk. A wind mitigation report can show you where the home stands, and if it doesn't qualify for any discounts, you may want to budget for updates. Number 6, homes that look like a good deal but are priced that way for a reason. Sometimes a house is listed at what seems like a steal. It might even be a decent location, but when you dig deeper, there's usually a reason. It could be sitting on a weird or undersized lot. Maybe it's across from a commercial property or right next to a busy road. Maybe it has chronic water intrusion issues or a layout that makes resale tough. Sometimes these deals are discounted for a good reason, and if you're not careful, you could inherit someone else's headache. We'll always look beyond price. We'll run comps to figure out why a home is priced low. I help buyers spot red flags they wouldn't otherwise see themselves. And sometimes they actually just find a great deal. Number 7, homes in neighborhoods with poor or no HOA oversight. Crystal Beach is a great example of a non-HOA neighborhood that works well. But when you buy in an area without an HOA, it's important to remember that just like you can do whatever you want with your property, so can your neighbors. That could mean someone paints their house neon green, installs a chain link fence, or leaves an RV and jet ski trailer right in the front yard. It's not a deal breaker, but it's something to be aware of, especially if you value your neighborhood's appearance and home value consistency. Final thoughts. Inspections are a must. I want to wrap this up with a critical point. No matter what kind of home you're buying, new construction, resale, or even as is, always get an inspection. Some buyers think an as-is deal means no inspection is needed. That is far from the truth. You absolutely should bring a licensed home inspector. It is one of the best ways to protect your investment, and I recommend one every single time. Now, if you're looking at condos, especially older buildings along the coast, ask about the milestone inspection. These are now required in Florida condos that are 3 stories or taller and 25 years old or more, if they are within 3 miles of the coast. They're performed by licensed architects or engineers to ensure structural integrity. Thanks to HB 913, these inspections are now mandatory and are more strictly enforced. You don't want to find out post-closing that your condo association is hitting you with a massive special assessment for structural repairs. Ask up front and do the homework.
Hey guys, it's Danny Margliano. As much as I love making these videos, there is one thing I love more, and that's helping families and people from all over the US make the move here to the Destin, 30A, and Panama City Beach area. I've helped countless families make the move, so whether you're coming out next week, next month, or even next year, don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is right here on the screen and linked in the description in case you missed the on-screen pop-up. I look forward to helping you and your family make the move to the Emerald Coast of Florida.
Okay, so let's wrap it up. Buying a home in Destin is exciting, but it pays to slow down and dig into the details. I'm not saying you should avoid any of the properties I talked about today. In fact, they can be great opportunities if you know what you're looking for. My job is to help you avoid surprises, navigate around the pitfalls, and find the right home that fits your goals. If you want help or have any questions, I'd love to talk. Visit destinpropertyexpert.com or reach out directly. And if this video helped you out, make sure to give it a like, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future updates. I post every week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.